Now his eyes were dimmed and pained by too much light. He would have to slowly wean them back to health and then be able to see. And that's why the word Vayalbishem is actually comprised of two words. Woe, woe to him, Libsham, their garments. You could also read woe to them, Libusham, to their embarrassment. Hu mashka dehivra dehivya vay hayat shedabak bam. That was the woe. So when they lost their status, they were no longer able to clearly comprehend and see. This was all because of the sin. And Ben Ish Chai says, it appears to me with God's help, Haifresh ben the difference between the words or with an aleph and or with an ayin, right? Or with an aleph and or with an ayin is 69, right? If you take aleph vav resh and ayin vav resh, what are the two different letters? We know, an aleph and a vav. Aleph is 1 and ayin is 70. 70 minus 1 is the number 69. Interestingly enough, he points out the word yagon, which is like a depressive state, has the numerical value of 69. And how does a person get depressed? Depression is a tool of the evil inclination. Because again, he wants him to forget his status. He depresses him. He says, "You are nothing. You are nobody. You have no mitzvot, no Torah." The person gets depressed. In the Shemona Esrei we say, remove from us yagon ve'anacha. Remove from us this depressive state. What is it talking about? So now Ben Ish Chai tells us. Yagon refers to Ploni, the Samech Mem, the Satan. Anacha, Plonit. The word anacha, which is another broken state of a person, refers to the Samech Mem's wife. So we don't mention her name, but to her. כנזכר בסידור רבנו הרש"ש זצ"ל. ולכן תמצא כי אביון ויגון, so the word evion and the word yagon, evion means poor person and yagon means depressed, have the same numerical value. He says, why is that? Because he says, כי הנעשה אביון מהמצוות, because a person who becomes poor from mitzvot, דבק בו יגון, attaches to him depression, lost hope. דשני אותיות א' וב' יהיו ג', because the word evion is spelled aleph bet yud vav nun, and yagon is spelled yud gimel vav nun. So the difference between the two words are, one word has a gimel in it, the other word has an aleph and a bet. If you take aleph and bet, aleph is 1, bet is 2, so 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 is also the numerical value of the word gimel. So it's all one word. Because a person is depressed state, in his lowly state of not doing a mitzvah, chas v'shalom, which is what we talked about before. When do the klipot attach themselves to his or? When he doesn't have avera, when he's evion. When he's an evion, he brings upon himself yagon, chas v'shalom, broken state. And this was what happened to Adam Rishon. But in the future, when a person rectifies everything, Yusara Yagon Legamri, the attachment of the klipa, the attachment of the depressed state, of the broken state, only exists so long as there's darkness. But when he will do full teshuvah, he will do a full tikkun, there will be nothing left for the darkness to attach to. It will all be light, and darkness doesn't exist in light. On that day, it will be removal of the Yagon v'Hanacha. And that's what we pray for the Shemona Yisrael. Again, this is another big kavanah we can have. We saw before, al Malbish Arumim. We're talking about we're getting dressed. Not just getting dressed, talking about getting spiritually dressed. And right here we saw the word Yagon v'Hanacha. The Asim Aleinu Yagon v'Hanacha is talking about a hope for the future. A hope when we will do full teshuvah and the Yagon will no longer be able to attach itself to us. Chas v'shalom. ואז יחסר מספר יגון מן אות עין דאור ויישאר אות א', because the word Yagon is 69. So if you take 69 away from or, ayin vav resh, right, from the ayin is 70, so 69 minus 70 minus 69 is 1. Aleph. Then we got back to where we started. Aleph. With the or of Aleph, which is what he was clothed in originally. Again, follow his. He doesn't just give you numbers stam. The numbers translate concepts. Yagon is 69. The word Yagon means a depressed state, a low state. That depressed state can only attach to a person, can only find a person when he lacks mitzvot. That's why Yagon, which equals 69, has the same numerical value as the word Evyon, poor person, which also equals 69. Because a poor person, we don't mean poor person physically, but poor person spiritually. When he's poor from mitzvot, he becomes depressed. He lacks light in his life. So what do we pray for? Malbish arumim. Give us the mitzvot, dress us up with garments. Why? Because what we're about to do is, and then we say, remove Yagon from us. How do you remove Yagon? You do teshuvah. You do mitzvot. You're able to see. And when that happens, you go back to what we are. We are or. We are with an ayin. We say, okay, we remove the ayin. We remove from the ayin Yagon. Yagon is 69. We're removing the Yagon from the ayin. Depression only exists so long as there's darkness. You just remove darkness from the ayin. What's left? Only light. Only light, because you've lit up the entire spot. And that's what it says, and these are the famous words, Shetachzor atara leyashna. We will come back to our old glory days. When we were in the garden. And just like we said before, that the chitzonim, the klipot have no sustenance bearing from the אור מקיף, דלקח נתקנא הנחש באדם הראשון בעבור אור מקיף שהוא היה ערום ממנו שאינו אחיזה בו. That's why, again, like he said before, that's why the Nachash was jealous. The Nachash was jealous because he knew that if Adam would light up the world, he doesn't exist anymore. And the Nachash has no existence when there's light. And that's why we understand now why it says when you would see the tzitzit, you remember all the mitzvot of Hashem. Why? Because it says the pasuk clearly says, but why? So he tells us because the tzitzit is or makif. Talit brought down in the Sfirot Oshim, the Kabbalah, that the talit is or makif, and we know what happens when you let the or makif in. What happens when a person is in a dark room and he lets the shades up? The light from outside comes and fills the entire room. The entire room is filled with light. When the entire room is filled with light, there does no exist no darkness. What causes you to forget? Darkness. Shikha and choshech. But when you don't have any more darkness, all you have is remember. Then you get to the spot where you see clearly and you remember. And that's why it's such an important mitzvah that you wear it on your body all the time. Because you're able to constantly push away the yagon, the difficulty, the darkness. Because it's a reminder. Not in and of its own, but because of what it is. By doing it, by grabbing hold of it, it's as if you've opened the shades of the room. What are the shades of the room of the body? The eyes. Once you open the eyes, you allow the light from the outside to come in. It's the light of the Torah to come in. Ooh, you lit the entire body up. Once you lit the entire body up, where's the klipa going to hold? It doesn't exist. And that's because it shoos away, because the light shoos away darkness. That's called schira. It's called remembering, because you no longer have choshech. You no longer have shikha. וידוע מה שכתב רבנו זצ"ל בשער הכוונות בסוד המלבושים שלבש אדם. This is another important concept that he's going to bring us here. That's from the שער הכוונות. שצריך להזהיר שלא ילבש שני מלבושים בבת אחד. Don't put two clothes on at one spot, one time. Because again, every piece of clothing has an or makif, an or pnimi. And what shoos away the choshech and the shikha? Not the or pnimi, because that's limited. You can't fill the entire room with that. The or makif. But for the or makif to exist, you have to put one cloth on, so it has the or pnimi and the or makif. Then you put the second garment on. This has to also do when you take off clothes. We don't take off two clothes. Because when you take off the first cloth, so you take off the or makif and or pnimi. That's why the Gemara says it's kashe leshikha. Person takes off two clothes at the same time or puts on two clothes at the same time. Kashe leshikha. He will forget. Why? Because he's got no or pnimi. No or pnimi, gonna forget. Because that's choshech. ועושה כן קשה לשכחה. וסוד הדבר, כי לכל לבוש יש בחינת אור מקיף, אין דבר שדוחה את הקליפות כמו אור מקיף. That's what we just basically said outside, is that every garment has the or makif, and or makif equals full-blown light. Full-blown light equals lack of darkness, right? I mean, inability for darkness to exist. Inability of darkness to exist means that there's no forgetfulness. But if a person puts on two garments at one shot, he doesn't let the or makif in. He doesn't let the or makif in. He's letting darkness in, because he's letting darkness exist. Darkness exists. He's got forgetfulness. ואין מניח מקום לאור מקיף להיכנס תוך שני המלבושים ולהקיף בין כל לבוש ולבוש, ועל ידי כן אין הקליפות נתחות משם. ונודע שאין השכחה מצויה אלא מחמת הקליפות. Right? And so the klipa is what causes shikha. Because again, we said klipat noga is that it guards the light inside of it. It doesn't let you see what's inside of it. It's like a treasure box. It's locked. So you don't really get to see the light, but there's a big light inside of it. So long as you let the klipa in, you're not letting your full light potential to be exposed. כי הזכירה הוא מצד הקדושה, בסוד, ואין שכחה לפני כיסא כבודיך. So we say that in the bracha v'asher yatzar, there's no forgetfulness before the galu v'yadua lifnei kisei kavodecha, right? Galu v'yadua, meaning it's known before your chair. What does that mean? It means that when godliness is revealed, when light is in the world,